Welcome to the Hormone Hub, your go-to source for the conversations every woman in her 40s and 50s needs to have. I'm your host, Kylie Pinwill, your nutritionist helping you navigate your way through perimenopause, menopause and beyond so you can say goodbye to the endless fatigue, unexplained weight gain, hot flushes, PMS, mood changes and more that come on this hormonal roller coaster. If you missed the memo or think this is only for women of a certain age, ladies, it's time to think again. Now sit back, relax and enjoy the show. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my latest episodes, which are released every week. Share it with your friends, your sweaty sisters. The more we talk, the more we help each other. Hello, ladies, and welcome back to the Hormone Hub. Today's episode, we are going to talk about 10 things every woman needs to know about perimenopause. Because there is lots of confusion floating around there and, so I just thought I would give you some of the things that, might be going on with your body and also what we can do about it as well. So let's sort of have a look at, what is perimenopause? So first up, it is a time of life. It is a natural transition. We all go through it. Now, some women may sail through, they may not even know, and then all of a sudden their periods stop and they are out the other side. And that's about 30% of us. Now, for the rest of us will go through with some kind of symptom that we notice. So things will change and we won't be able to sort of put our finger on exactly what. And it's important to remember that perimenopause it's not a diagnosable medical condition. So there's nothing wrong with us. And this is why a lot of women, go off to their doctors, they're told, have all the blood work done. They're told that everything is normal. And it leaves a lot of women feeling really disheartened because, what is normal? And why do I feel like this if everything's normal? This isn't my normal. And I think that's, the medical system in general does a huge disservice to women's health. But, I just sort of want to give you some things that you can sort of work with. And also, too, it's good to remember that medically, they're not given a huge amount of training on perimenopause. And likewise, when I went through and did my qualifications, I think perimenopause was maybe a couple of sentences. Menopause was maybe a 5-minute conversation. It really wasn't something that we focused on. So, if you've been told that everything is normal, take heart because, we've got you. It's very common. So it's, like I said, it's a natural stage of life. Our hormones start to fluctuate and then drop. And this is the biggest hormonal change we've had since puberty. So, there's a lot going on. And what I want to do is sort of give you as much information as I can so you can make informed decisions about your own health. No one knows your body better than you do. And also to be able to navigate this transition with confidence as well. So some of the early symptoms that we might see. So number 2. Early symptoms might be, hot flushes are, what everyone talks about and, what we typically tend to associate with menopause. But for a lot of women, it might start with fatigue. Why am I all so tired? I just can't get through the day, feel exhausted constantly. So that's probably the first one. Weight gain is another one, particularly, if you've never really had weight around the middle before, you might not have changed anything in your diet, but yet you're putting on weight, your clothes are tighter. You might have bloating that you've never had before. You might, start to experience changes in your periods. So your cycle might become longer and lighter, as in further apart, or they might become closer together and heavier. And all of a sudden painful. So there's no sort of right or wrong, and no two women will go through this the same way. But just that change is, this sign that things are starting to shift. Not sleeping is a big one in perimenopause. So this is where that insomnia starts to kick in. Women might be waking at 2-3 in the morning and be awake for a few hours. Mood swings kick in about now. So, there's been quite a few conversations I've had about women wanting to stab their partner in the eye with a fork and, things like that, yelling at their kids, going off at their bosses at work, things like that. So things where they kind of like look back and go, that's not me. Why am I reacting to things that would never bother me before? But again, these hormonal changes affect us mentally, physically, and emotionally. So it's cut yourself some slack. There's a lot going on there. So number 3, let's have a look at how do we manage hot flushes, because this is a big one. And hot flushes, night sweats commonly, sort of happen around this time of life as well. And, these are probably 2 of the most uncomfortable symptoms of perimenopause. So what we want to do is, avoid the triggers. So cutting down on alcohol. So alcohol is a massive trigger for hot flushes. It's a massive trigger for insomnia as well. So we might have a few glasses of wine thinking it's going to put us to sleep, and it does initially, but, our body has to work hard to break it down. So our body's working all night. So, that can wake us up. Spicy foods is another one for some women. Caffeine, it can be a trigger for other women. So what you can do here is dress in layers. So, things that you can easily peel off. And likewise, at bedtime, if night sweats are a big issue for you, maybe switch out your beautiful great big doona or your duvet for like layers of cotton blankets. So that way, as your body heats up, you can peel off a few layers. Using a fan can certainly help, and, as can aircon in your bedroom at nighttime or, at work. And at the time of recording, it is February here in Queensland, and it's pretty disgusting, to be honest. So I'm generally a fan of fresh air over aircon, but, February all rules out the window, right? Okay. Number 4 is exercise during this stage of life. Now, I am a huge advocate of moving your body. All right. I don't advocate any particular type of exercise, but what I want you to do, tune into your body. Is it leaving you feeling energized and excited and, refreshed, ready to, jump out of your skin? Or are you doing a great big workout and you're feeling zonked? If you are feeling zonked, it is not the right exercise for you, so find something, and if you can go and do high intensity exercise, go for a run, boot camp, any of that, and you feel great afterwards and there's no slumps during the day, keep going, because that type of exercise is really good for you. If, however, that type of exercise, just the thought of it leaves you feeling exhausted, it's not right for you right now. So this is where yoga, Pilates, stretching, weight training, any kind of, exercise where you're moving your muscles is going to be really beneficial for you. Now, the reason I think we need to keep, there's lots of reasons we need to keep exercising, but it has huge benefits for us physically, mentally, and emotionally. So it helps, boost our mood. It helps reduce stress and anxiety. It can help improve our sleep as well. So, there's so many benefits to moving over, flogging yourself at the gym. And number 5 is diet. Of course, we're going to go here. I'm a nutritionist. So we want to focus on real food, whole foods. So lots of fresh fruit and vegetables. This is going to give us fiber. It's going to give us vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, polyphenols. Don't underestimate the power punch that vegetables and fruit can give us. We want to make sure we're getting lots of protein. Protein fills us up. It helps keep us full. It helps stabilize our blood sugar so we're not having those big energy crashes. So it's going to help support our mood, our energy, to get us through the day and get us through the afternoon. Healthy fats are good for transporting our hormones around our body and, again, keeping us full for longer. So, so getting, the right sort of balance of whole foods. We don't want to go cutting out carbs. We don't want to go cutting out whole food groups because, if we're under stress, we need, carbohydrates to support our stress response. We need carbohydrates at this point in our life to support our thyroid. So, for my ladies with any kind of thyroid things going on, now is not the time to give up carbs. So if we think of carbs, things out of a packet aren't great. There's a lot of difference between eating, a potato and eating a bag of chips. Huge difference. And, think about what that potato can give us. So, poor little potato, you've heard me talk about this before. It's been vilified. Doesn't need to be. This Hormone Hub episode is sponsored by The Well-Balanced Woman. If you've been on a hormonal roller coaster, feeling bloated, your digestion isn't the best, and you're sick and tired of feeling lethargic with your weight creeping up, then this is the right program for you. I'm right there with you across the 12 weeks to hold your hand, and I'll give you a loving kick up the bum if you need it. The Well-Balanced Woman is your personalised 4-phase program created to help you regain your energy, balance your hormones and fire up your metabolism so you get the results you're after. The link with all the details is on our show notes or over at kyliepinwell.com/well-balanced-woman. Okay, so making sure that you're getting, a balanced diet, eliminating as much sugar as you can, all of those sort of those packet foods that we just don't need. Now, the next sort of thing about perimenopause that I want you to know, number 6, is sleep and stress management. Okay, so sleep disturbances, stress levels can be high. And again, it's a busy time of life. You've heard me say this before. So we need to sort of have a good handle on, are we managing our stress? Now, we can't control what goes on around us, but we can control the way we respond. So having the tools to kind of anchor that stress level, to keep you calm, keep you grounded, so you're not constantly in that fight or flight mode. Because the more time we spend in fight or flight mode, the more our energy level is going to tank. We're not going to sleep. It's going to be impossible to lose weight. We're going to feel exhausted. All of these things. Our digestive system's going to jam up. So we need to get a better handle on the way we manage stress. Now, reducing stress, particularly when we're sort of incorporating relaxation techniques, when we're incorporating exercise, it all sort of works on helping us get a better night's sleep. So you can start to see how it's all connected. So, if we're less stressed, we're going to sleep better. If we're sleeping better, we've got more energy. If we've got more energy, we can do more exercise. So, if we're, doing all of these things because we're eating properly, we're fueling our body properly. So, you can see how it's all linked. Now, HRT is my next point. So number 7, and HRT is definitely a treatment option for perimenopause. Now, what it does is it involves taking hormones. Now, the HRT of today is very different to HRT of 20 years ago. And there's a lot we can do. So, there's bioidentical or body identical hormones that we can take. So this comes in the form of estrogen and progesterone. And if you are still having a menstrual cycle, you need both, and that's okay. And what I sort of recommend, because I get asked all the time, should I take HRT? Look, if it is impacting your day-to-day quality of life, and if you are already doing, diet, lifestyle, stress management, if you have already got those pieces in place, and it is still impacting your day-to-day quality of life, then HRT is a really good option. If you are burning the candle at both ends, if your diet leaves a bit to be desired, if you're relying on alcohol, most nights as your stress management tool, then, HRT is not a golden bullet either. It's not the magic bullet. So, just be mindful. You still need to support your body and, eat well, move your body, manage your stress, be kind to yourself, ladies, all of these things for HRT to become effective. So, it doesn't have to be an either or. I think it really needs to be both, for you to be well and feel well. It 100% needs to be both. Okay, so then number 8, we're going to have a look at mood swings. So mood swings can be, rear their ugly head in perimenopause. And, a lot of women I speak to talk about, they don't voice it, but they'd really like to, stick a fork in their husband's eye when he chews too loud. And, their kids drive them crazy and they're very fast to fly off the handle, things like that. So again, we want to have a look at the lifestyle changes, exercise, stress management. How can you put boundaries in place? So for these things that, are bothering you now that never used to bother you before, how can we get that in place so we can better respond to what's going on? So again, if we're eating the right foods, if our blood sugar is balanced, our moods are going to be a lot more balanced. So, it all comes back to getting that right balance of nutrition. Okay, number 9, sex during perimenopause. All right, so there's a lot going on here. We have changes in hormones, which can, physically impact us. So, things get a bit drier. So, vaginal dryness, vaginal atrophy, which is, I hate that term. It's just ridiculous, can impact us. Pelvic floor can be an issue. So, there's physical changes that's going on. There's also, like the mental and emotional side, we're just exhausted. So, finding the right time, changing things up, making it fun, there's a lot, supporting ourselves emotionally and feeling connected to our partner can go a really long way to improve libido for sure. And there are lots of things we can do. So, a lot of the ladies that I work with, particularly those who've been through menopause, there's products that I recommend. There's a lot of lubricants that you can use. If pelvic floor is an issue, go and see a pelvic physio. They are amazing, seriously. And also, like having the conversation with your partner about how you feel and how, things are changing for you, and talk to them about what your needs are, because that can definitely help as well. And number 10, natural remedies. So we've talked about lots of natural remedies like food, movement, stress management. These are all natural and should 100% be in your toolkit. Now, I get asked about different supplements all the time, different, things. To be honest, and I think I've said this before, save your money. If something keeps popping up in your news feed, like happy hormones or happy mammoth, or, there's just so much crap that's out on the marketplace. Again, a supplement is not going to be the magic bullet for you if you are not doing the diet and lifestyle changes. It's not going to fix everything. Sure, it might help for a couple of weeks, but it's not going to be a long-term solution. We need to have a look at, getting those basics in place. There are sort of treatments that can help. So, I've had clients who've had great results with acupuncture for hot flushes, yoga as a all-over de-stressing and regular thing that you can do. Massage can help, that inflammation, that joint pain, that muscle pain. Maybe regular massage can be something, and again, that's relaxing, that can be incorporated. So I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to give you a better understanding of perimenopause, the treatment options available. And, remember, if you do need help, you are most welcome to reach out. We have, the Well Balanced Woman program is geared towards helping you make these lifestyle changes, the dietary changes, moving your body, the mindset changes, all of these things. So it's, doing it with wherever you are in perimenopause or menopause, we do it with you in a way, we work with you where you're at and we help you where you need it most. So I hope this episode has been helpful, and I will talk to you in the very next episode. Bye, ladies. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. You can head on over to the show notes at kyliepinwell.com/podcast, where you'll find all the links, and I have a little bonus surprise waiting for you. Before we go, it would mean the world to me if you head on over to your favourite podcasts channel, subscribe and leave a review. Make sure to screenshot it, DM it to me so I can thank you personally. Then stay tuned for next week's episode. Can't wait to see you then.